On the phone line right now, Ask Dr. Mel, Dr. Melissa Clark. Of course, you guys can check her out Mondays, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube. Ask Dr. Mel. It's a great show, but we like to have her on because she basically can break down some of this stuff that's going around. So, Dr. Clark, I got to ask you, one of my friends, Albert, I didn't want to say it was you, that they got this thing going around that they're telling these young kids they're getting this thing called white lung. And I mentioned that to Alfreda's the other day. And do you know what the heck that is?
Well, let me put it this way. My old school hip-hop fans will appreciate this. Don't believe the hype. There might be concern, when we hear about these unexplained cases of childhood pneumonia in China. Mm-hmm. But what's being called white lung pneumonia here in the United States is not really a medical term. It isn't really a thing. And it's not linked to anything happening in China. It's basically the way that a lung X-ray looks in some cases of pneumonia due to fluid being in the lungs are sick. That's what pneumonia is. So there's no actual uptick in the rate of pneumonia diagnoses compared to previous winters. There are no new viruses or bacteria at play. In other words, there's no there. There are cases of pneumonia happening, but nothing to worry about in general.
Because I have a friend that they said he had white lung. Her son had white lung, but he doesn't have all the major symptoms. And then they turn around and say, "Oh, it's walking pneumonia." How dangerous is walking pneumonia? I mean, especially for these young kids.
Yeah, so it's something to be taken seriously. Any pneumonia is, but it's treatable. It's treatable with antibiotics, and typically walking pneumonia means it's not severe enough to be hospitalized for, and it responds very well to antibiotics if it's a bacterial pneumonia, or just rest and TLC and time if it's a viral pneumonia.
Albert keeps getting sick. Albert, I hate to put you out there like that, but
it's true.
It's like
I'm sorry to hear that, Albert.
Yeah, his son comes home from daycare, and I don't know what it is about adults. They can't handle a lot of stuff that these kids get. You know what I mean? It's like it's more devastating. But everybody say, "Oh no, it's good for your child at a young age to get all these different diseases from other kids." Is that an accurate statement?
Well, I am not a fan of ever being sick. But children in general can handle more infectious diseases at a younger age. COVID is an example of that. But there are some for the very young that you don't want to be exposed to, like RSV, and I'm talking about infants.
All right, Dr. Clark, Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern on YouTube. What are y'all talking about?
Should the black church be more involved in our health care? Tune in.
I love that.
It's going to be a lively discussion.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. I will be there. All right, Dr. Clark, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. Y'all have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.